I think about how I was conditioned in this culture, you know, and the way, and I'm white. So this is like, and I'm got all these private cis male, all those things. So like I have that, these privileged identities working on my behalf. But the conditioning is accrue power. The conditioning is hold and accumulate wealth. Like there's no learning about what it looks like to cede power or to relinquish authority, expertise, resources. Like there's just, it's not that there's in some cases, there's no will for that. But what I'm noticing is, and I'm thinking about this across institutional spaces, I'm really thinking about this across professional positions. There's some cases where there's no will. Someone is just trying to hold on and accrue. Cool, whatever. I mean, that's just where people are at. To each their own. I can't really work with those kind of folks just for myself. But what I'm noticing is then there's another kind of awakening or some kind of dawning among a lot of other professionals who are interested in that. And I'm saying, I'll include myself, we are not equipped. Like we just don't have skills and practices for relinquishing authority, giving up resources, ceding power. Like that's just not how we were conditioned in this culture, in this racial capitalist system. And I just want to I found that I changed and became more empathetic of that position when I realized like, oh, actually, like we just don't have those muscles and we don't really have exercises to like build those muscles. We don't have the practices. That isn't what we were conditioned to do. So I think the learning community piece for me, or the scene work piece for me, is really about what does it look like to deprofessionalize our work? What does it look like to actually work ourselves out of our jobs? What does it look like to give up, to see, like relinquish? And that is like an open-ended mystery box question, because there are people who I respect who are doing that. And I've seen it. Okay, they sunsetted their organization or they gave up their shit or whatever. But like as a community or collectively, I feel like we're lacking in imagination around that. And it's been really interesting for me to include myself that's something I've been frustrated by, but I too am lacking that. And I yearn for a community of scene workers. I yearn for a community of people who are down to do that. Let's be nodes of redistribution. Let's deprofessionalize. When all the training and all the messaging is about professionalization, be professional, professionalism, join a profession, all the professional things. It's hard. I just want to just name it. So even and at school, that's a little less where my work is these days, but like I think of that across a professional spectrum. And I think it's highlighted. Maybe this was like a really extreme way that I was sort of like focused on it, is when people are like, yeah, defund the police. The police should go away. There shouldn't be police. Should there be any professionals? Like who gets to stay? You know, like if we're really like if it's like really about that you have to stop doing your job in these communities for these communities to thrive and be safe, like who gets to keep their job? Who gets to keep accruing and amassing wealth? And professional privilege is a kind of privilege. That's how this stuff accumulates. That's how it accrues. So I'm like wanting to extend that. Like if you have animosity toward the police and the police should stop and go away, abolish the police, they should, what do you do? Like, how do you get ready to get out? How do you get ready to leave? How do you get ready to give shit up and get out? And I just feel like that's where we kind of come to that's where the rubber meets the road, because then it's not just you pointing out at others who are like flagrantly harmful or racist or whatever, but really like, oh man, like how am I doing that on a day-to-day, while balancing, to your point, and not to minimize that I have material needs. I have to care for my loved ones. You have a family, whatever, like that I have debt, like that, all those things are real as well. So yeah, man, I just appreciate like the kind of, I appreciate it, and I'm like finding myself craving more thought partnership around those questions and experiments with those kind of practices.
Yeah.
Deprofessionalism.